students, a very warm welcome to my class once again. So here we are going to discuss about the new chapter with a new concept with so many examples with live experiences. Okay, so we are getting into chapter 3, Fiber to Fabric, part 1. So to understand what is fiber and different types of fibers. Okay, discuss the process of separating the fibers from plants. Okay, understand the different steps of formation of yarn from fiber, explain knitting and weaving of fabric and the difference between them, and history of clothing materials like this: cotton, fabric, fiber, knitting, spinning, weaving, and yarn. Okay, so what is fiber? Okay, so when we are talking about the so-called fiber, um, you could have seen in the edges of the your bedspreads, or if you have seen your mama using dupatta, at the edges we have something called tassels. Okay, when you look at the tassels, it will have that long thread-like structure. Okay, a long thin thread-like filament. That is what we call it as fibers. Okay, fibers are nothing but long, flexible, thin thread-like structures. Okay, so they are used to make into yarns, and then the yarns are combined together to make into different beautiful fabrics or the textiles or the dresses that which we are wearing. Okay, so in the screen you can see. Okay, so there are so many different types of fabrics, like this fabric which looks so luscious, so shiny. Okay, it looks so comfy, so it looks so soothing, comfy. Here it looks like a cotton dress. Okay, so I'm very sure you all have been come across with this topic called fabric. Okay, or the textile, all the dresses which we wear. Okay, or you would have heard when if you have gone shopping with your mama, you have heard your mama asking to the shopkeeper, what kind of fabric material is this made up of? Okay, if she's shopping for the sari or the dupatta, whatever, she'll be asking what fiber, or sorry, what fabric this material is made up of. Okay, so we have so many different types of fabrics. Fabric, okay, when we touch a fabric, okay, you could feel the difference. The fabric that is made up of wool would be different from the fabric that is made up of cotton, and from the fabric that is made up of silk. Okay, so the fabric is along, can you see when we are pulling this is what we call it as tassels. Okay, so when we are trying to pull it out, how it's coming, so it's like a long thread-like structure, thin thread-like structure, and this is made into yarn, and the yarns combine together to make into different fabric. In this particular chapter, we will be discussing about how a textile is made from the fiber to the fabric. Okay, so our fabrics are made up of so many threads weaved together. Okay, so how the fabrics are made? Either they will be made with by weaving or knitting. Okay, we will discuss what is the meaning of weaving and what is the meaning of knitting. Okay, so either the dresses which we are wearing, either it will be a weaved one or the knitted ones. Okay, so sweater is a fabric, yarn is the fiber. Okay, so this is the difference between the fabric and the fiber. Okay, so basically we will discuss how fabric and fibers are assembled together. Okay, so the objectives goes like this. We'll be learning about the fibers and the different types of fibers. Okay, the process of separating the fibers from the plants, to understand the different steps in the formation from making it from a yarn to a fiber. Okay, yes, types of fibers. Okay, so it is not only types of fibers, whatever materials that we could see, we will be getting them either only from two sources, either from a natural source or from the artificial source. So here we are discussing about the fibers. So even the fibers, there are two sources, either we get them naturally or we will get them artificially. Artificially is nothing but the synthetic or the man-made fibers. Okay, so what are natural fibers? Fibers that are obtained from either a plant source or an animal source. Okay, so when we are going to obtain the fiber from a plant source or the animal source, the fiber is called as natural fiber. The example is like cotton, jute, linen, coir, wool, silk. These are the examples, good examples of natural fibers. So when we are talking about like artificial fibers, those are man-made fibers. So for thousands and thousands of years, natural fiber were only the source available to make the fabrics. Okay, so in the 19th century only we started with something called artificial fibers. Okay, so the natural fiber was the only source. Okay, the natural fiber was the only source in the earlier periods. Okay, this is a cotton. Okay, this is a jute. This is a flax from the flaxseed, coir from coconut, hemp. Okay, these are the examples of natural. Okay. Next is artificial fibers. So artificial fibers are also termed as man-made fibers, or they are also termed as synthetic fibers. Okay, very good example is nylon, polyester, okay, rayon. Rayon resembles the natural silk. Okay, it just resembles natural silk. It is very less easy to maintain. Okay, it resembles silk. Okay, whereas polyester, okay, so polyester, nylon, these are the man-made fibers or synthetic. Okay, so these are the examples. See how lustrous this rayon looks like. Okay, so rayon, nylon, polyester, acrylic. Okay, so these are the examples. So in this particular chapter we are going to discuss about the natural fiber, and that too about the plant fiber. Okay, so the plant examples of plant fiber is cotton, linen, jute and coir. Animal fiber is wool and silk. Thank you so much. We will continue in part 2.